Welcome to Dust to Grace, where gumption meets grace and real life gets lived out loud. Hi, my friend. I got something different for you today. Not a full episode, just a short one because today is my birthday and something happened yesterday that I can't stop thinking about. I was out on my morning walk, gravel crunching under my shoes. Same road I walk every day. And right there, in the rock and the dirt, something caught my eye. I bent down, picked it up, and it was a coin. It is old, it's so smooth, you can barely see the face on it. Turns out, this is a Liberty nickel, dated 1900, 126 years old. And I couldn't stop thinking about it because I lived 3 miles from Chimney Rock. You know, the landmark on the old Oregon Trail the pioneers wrote about in their journals the moment they knew they were really out west. Wagon trains rolled right past here for decades. This nickel came later than heaviest trails, but that road never disappeared. It just became the paths people kept walking for generations after. The ruts those wagons cut stayed in the ground long after the wagons themselves were gone. Ranchers built fence lines along them. This gravel road I walk every morning could be where that trail once was. So I got to thinking, where has this nickel been? I invite you to imagine with me for just a minute. Maybe it jingled in the pocket of a young soldier walking to catch a train off to some war he couldn't picture yet, thinking about home and whether he'd see it again, wondering if the girl back home would wait, wondering if this little piece of Nebraska ground would still be here when he got back. Maybe it was tucked away by a mother during the Depression, one of the only nickels she had, saved back from a grocery bill she couldn't quite make stretch, hidden in a coffee can on a shelf, meant for something important that maybe never came. Maybe it slipped through a hole in a young man's pocket on his way to town, part of what he'd scraped together for a ring for the girl he loved, lost in the gravel before he ever got the chance to slide it across the counter. Maybe he noticed it was gone, but then still bought a ring, wondering where the nickel was he thought he had fallen on the road. A kid skipping rocks on the way home from a one-room country school. A rancher's wife walking to the neighbors for coffee and conversation after a long, lonesome winter, glad for another woman's voice. And one of them could have dropped this nickel right where I found it, and the ground just held on to it. Patient as anything, through droughts and blizzards and dust and storms, 100 more wagons and trucks and tractors passing over the very same spot, waiting 126 years for my shoe to land in the right spot on a Monday morning. This nickel has a story it cannot tell. It's got no brain, it has no memory, and no way to say what it's seen all of this time. We're not that way, my friend. We get to keep telling our story. And that's exactly why I care so much about brain health. Because the whole point of a long life isn't just surviving it. It's to still be sharp enough at the end to remember it. To tell the stories, to keep learning something new at 59, 69, and 89. A coin can survive 126 years and say nothing. But a person who protects their brain can survive and never stop talking, teaching, laughing, and connecting. I lean on Dr. Daniel Amen's work a lot in my coaching, and one of the things he teaches is that brain longevity isn't an accident. It's built day by day out of small choices. A few of the ones I try to live by. Protect your brain physically. Wear seatbelts. Avoid those little bumps and falls we shrug off, because even mild injuries add up over a lifetime. Keep learning something new. This is building cognitive reserve. New skills, new hobbies, new information. It literally grows new connections in your brain at any age. Move your body. Exercise increases blood flow to the brain, and blood flow is everything when it comes to staying sharp. Guard your sleep, because your brain does its cleanup work while you're resting, clearing out the very toxins linked to memory loss. And feed your gut and your brain well, because they're more connected than most of us ever learned in school. I hold on to these because I watched my brother Barry live the cost of not knowing them soon enough. And I coach because I don't want anyone else finding out the hard way, at the goodbye, instead of at a beginning. I picked this nickel up to keep. I'm going to tape it to my computer where I see it every single day. Not because it's worth anything. It's not really. Not in dollars. But it's going to remind me that life is worth reaching beyond the boundaries for. This little coin traveled farther and lived through more than anybody could ever guess, just by looking at it. That's the whole point, isn't it? We don't get to know what we're capable of until we're willing to go further than the edge of what is comfortable. To keep discovering our own story instead of assuming we already know how it ends. Today I grow another year older, and I want to roll with it. Every wrinkle, every gray hair, every year. Because age isn't something to fight, my friends. It's something to appreciate. Life is a gift worth opening and loving every single day, not just on your birthday. So here's to unwrapping this next year, slow and on purpose. Grateful for every bit of it, and reaching beyond my own boundaries to see how much more story is still out there to find. There's a verse in Jeremiah I keep coming back to. Jeremiah 17:7 and 8. Blessed is the one who trusts in the Lord. They will be like a tree planted by the water that sends out its roots by the stream. It does not fear when heat comes. Its leaves are always green. It has no worries in a year of drought, and never fails to bear fruit. That's what I want for this next year. Roots reaching deep enough that whatever drought comes, I'll keep staying strong. I'll keep bearing fruit. I'll keep finding the stories worth telling. So I'm going to have a great happy birthday today, my friend. And thank you for walking this road with me. Gravel, nickels, and all. Hope, believe, lean, breathe, and grow. You're not behind. You're not broken. You are one breath away from the grace that life has for you. Real stories, real struggle, real grace. Take the breath. Lean in. I'm Lisa Anders, and I'll see you next time on Dust to Grace. Have a grace-filled day.